some update on some injuries from last weekend?
Yeah, Ryan Jones has hurt his shoulder. It's nothing major, too major, but he hasn't been able to be ready in time for selection for this week. So, yeah, unfortunately he's the only one really.
Would he be back for next weekend's home?
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, you don't know with injuries, but it's not as bad as initially thought. So, yeah, hopefully everything going well.
What about some of the Lions players? Are they going to be used a bit more this weekend?
Well, again, I think it's just again we'll just see how the game unfolds. But the plan is to get them out on the pitch and keep transitioning them ready for a start at some point.
Any likely to start?
Unlikely at this stage. Well, maybe one. Yeah, we'll just see.
And I mean, in terms of managing those players, is it sort of thinking about the long term, thinking about the spring campaign as such?
Yeah, I think first and foremost, we've put the player at the centre of our discussions, and they've had a hell of a trip, and they've had a lot of rugby. So again, it's making sure that they're right, ready to go. So when they do come back in and play for us and pull the jersey on, they give 100%. So again, it's just about making sure we manage that to get the best out of the athlete. And again, we know sort of what's coming for them as well. So yeah, that's been part of their formula.
And this weekend, Leinster, one of the toughest away trips.
Yeah, I think Leinster have set the standard for a long time, and again from our point of view, we're excited about going up to the RDS and having a crack at them up there. So like I say, boys are excited and ready to go.
A bit of a different start to this season compared to last year. Nice to keep the momentum going. It's not going to be an easy game this weekend.
No, and I think that's the challenge that we've put to ourselves, is that it was all well and good going up to Treviso, and we're happy to take the win away from there. It wasn't 100% perfect how we sort of how we wanted to do it, but the challenge for us as a group is to see how we back up again in Leinster this week. So we've talked about that, and again it's something that we want to challenge ourselves with.
Is that where the more experienced players come in? You'll throw perhaps more people with some of the Lions players will sort of feature a bit more heavily?
Well, I think again they made an awesome impact off the bench, but as a group we've got to make sure that even the players who are 3 deep in the positions are ready to go. So again, we're expecting that the starters, when they get out there, that they'll lay the platform for the rest of the team, and guys coming off the bench, whether they're Lions or not, are expected to make a positive contribution. So that's what we'll be expecting.
And I mean, in the news now, all the rugby papers, it's all about the Heineken Cup and the breakaway in England and France. Coming from the Southern Hemisphere, how's the Heineken Cup seen down there? Sort of, is it the envy of the Southern Hemisphere? I don't know if it's the envy, but it's one hell of a tournament, and again, there's guys in higher positions than me that will make those decisions about what shape or form that looks like. I mean, it's an awesome competition, and I'm sure that it'll be here in some shape or form in the future. But it must have been one of the pulls to come for you to come into the Ospreys. Yeah, definitely. And I mean, you can understand therefore, in the future, it must be worrying for you, the players, if it's sort of all up in the air as it's written about. Yeah, again, I think we can only control what we can control, and again, like I say, the people who are in higher positions than us will make the right decisions for that. But hopefully, it's in there in some sort of format. Brilliant, thank you.
Chris, you mentioned Ryan Jones there. How long are you expecting him to be out?
Again, not that long. I can't definitively tell you that it's going to be 2 days a week or whatever. I mean, you know how these injuries are, and again, it's a pretty important part of his body for what he does. So again, we've just got to just manage and see how. But hopefully next week, all things going well. Hopefully next week.
His previous shoulder injury cost him 6 months out of the game.
Well, it's definitely not that bad. I'll give you the tip.
So you're hopeful maybe next week?
Yeah.
What about Aaron Jarvis?
Yeah, he's ticking along quite nicely, and again, from a return to play point of view, he's still a few weeks off. Had his first big hit out the other day, which was good to see the big man rolling around. But he's got a lot of work to do yet in terms of getting his body battle hardened, ready to go. So again, we're just taking each session on its own merit.
Yeah, no comeback date done on that.
No, not at this point.
Leinster, you'll know a bit about. You're looking forward to the sort of family elements of what's happening out there.
Yeah, it's Yeah, it's quite exciting. You know, John and I have talked about this. You know, when I accepted the role at Ospreys, the first thing he said to me is, "Oh, we've drawn you in the Heineken Cup pool as well." So, you know, getting to play against each other 4 times this year is exciting. You know, I know the family at home will be sort of watching and that. But again, it's sport, and one of us will come out on top. But the good thing is it's the first of 4, so you know, I'm excited. But I think just purely from a team point of view, I'm excited to go to the RDS and come up against, you know, the Pro12 winners last year and see, and, you know, again, for us to really put a line in the sand and see where we are. So that's actually the real exciting bit for me.
How do you really impress you? They're a good side, aren't they?
Oh, they're top side, mate. And I think, you know, the key thing is about Leinster is they can hurt you from anywhere. You know, they play quite an expansive type of rugby, but they can also too, as they showed against the Scarlets last week, that you know, they can match it up front as well. So, you know, they're a handful, but again, like I say, it's a challenge that we're genuinely excited about.
Are you sniffing an opportunity, given that they might be missing 8 internationals?
Mate, we're focusing on ourselves. We're just making sure that we're getting our processes and our sort of systems in place, and making sure that from a performance point of view, we're getting from a team what we want. It's a long season. It's the start of a long season. Again, you know, we got a good result at Treviso last week, but again, what we're challenging ourselves is making sure that we can back that performance up again, and if we do that, then, you know, we're confident we'll get the right result. If we don't, then, you know, we'll see how we go.
Your Lions, 3 of them played last week, or they came on. Are those guys likely to start?
Maybe one of them, yeah, we'll just see. I mean, obviously, with Ryan out, we've just got to make sure that we get the right mix there.
Yeah. Well, what about Chipper and Ali Wynn? Are they likely to feature?
No.
Not at all?
No.
What, they just need more conditioning work, is it?
Yeah. Again, from a, you know, they've had a fairly big workload, and again, it's just making sure we're doing right by, you know, by them and for the team as well. So again, yeah, we haven't got a date on exactly when they're looking to come back, but it'll be in the next week or 2. So,
Chris, what are the pluses and minuses that you sort of picked up from your forward play after the first game?
I think the big thing that stood out for me that I was really impressed with the lads, and the thing that I'm wanting to see more of, was just their effort. And, you know, Treviso have got a very good attacking line out and drive, and I thought the way that we put it down, we got a try scored against us, but we read that poorly. But the effort and the physicality that went into stopping that stuff, I was really impressed with. We've got some work to do there. I think from a scrum perspective, we got better, but again, we've got some road to make up there a little bit. But again, we're working away at that, getting combinations right, getting timings right. You know, having guys coming back in and out throws your patterns and timings out a bit. But we're getting better. And what I was impressed with was just the way that they got around the track. We put a lot of acid on them about getting into position quickly and getting around and using their speed, and they did that well, we thought.
Because the possession stats were against you, weren't they? The stats.
Mate, I don't know, mate.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't have a look, but
Yeah, I think it was 60-40, something like that.
we got a fair bit of ball to play with. That's, you know, so I mean.
Yeah. I guess you need to win a lot of ball in Dublin, won't you, against Leinster?
Yeah, I think it's important that you win your ball. You can't get anything going if you don't have possession. So again, it's making sure that we get that right, and again, we put pressure on their ball as well. So.
Yeah. What did you think of them against the Scarlets last week?
Yeah, I thought they were pretty clinical. They put a lot of pressure on the Scarlets and forced a lot of errors. And I know that the Scarlets won't be happy with the way they perform. But, you know, again, there was a lot of pressure coming from Leinster. So again, you know, and they took their opportunities, and that's what a class side does. They get a sniff, they take it.
The outside half were good, Gobbers, Jimmy Gobbers.
Yeah, good player.
Yeah, you're familiar with him, obviously.
Yeah.
I took his goal kicks, and his general play was very good, wasn't it?
Yeah. Brilliant.